Yesterday, Magic the Gathering gave us first look card previews for the Final Fantasy Universes Beyond set, and one card stood out to a lot of people because it was just absolutely unbelievable, to be honest. Jumbo Cactuar is an absolutely ridiculous Magic card. 7 mana, 1/7, creature plant, 10,000 needles. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets plus 9,999 plus 0 until the end of turn. Now, this card is just completely and utterly ridiculous. And of course, everyone's first thought after the initial shock of seeing this thing was basically, okay, how do we take advantage of the power? Well, fling effects and just fling it directly into somebody's face. We can give it trample or unblockable so that the damage goes through when we're attacking. It's pretty much just going to end the game for somebody, during combat and or before the end of the turn. And I think a lot of people are looking at this as like, oh, it's completely absurd and it's not, it's going to ruin Magic or it's going to ruin Commander or whatever. But I don't really think it does. I mean, it's 7 mana. Sure, it's green and there's lots of ways to cheat it into play without paying its mana cost. But I just think that it's not as ridiculous as it seems, as far as like it's just going to end the game and every green deck ever is going to put this in, because it requires a bit of a build around. If you're playing a fling deck like Ziatora as your commander, then yeah, flinging this thing is pretty awesome, right? Because it's doing exactly what you want to do. Um, you know, Massive amount of damage and take someone out of the game. Ovia Automech Artisan from Aether Drift gives each creature attacking your opponent's trample, and you could pay 1 green and tap her to put a creature or vehicle from your hand onto the battlefield. And if it's a vehicle, you get 2/1/1 counters. In this case, it's not. And you tap Ovia, and Jumbo Cactuar can come into play at the end of somebody's turn, right before your turn. So essentially, it's going to have haste, right? It's going to be able to attack on your turn, and it's going to have trample. So this does everything you need it to do. So if you have this deck, that might be a good addition. Or you might actually feel like, well, this is not really worth playing because it's too easy to just knock someone out of the game too early, and maybe it's less fun. I think a lot of people think it's going to just like ruin the game, but I think overall it takes a lot of work and build around, but at the same time, sometimes if it becomes too easy, you just take it out of your deck. Don't use it. Commander's a social format, and it's all about, the experience that's brought to the table. And honestly, absurd and huge, powerful creatures makes the game really fun. So it's super exciting in a lot of ways, but if it becomes too good or too easy, it's not hard to just say, you know what? I had my fun. I did the thing that one time. Now I'm going to take it out of my deck. I'm sure many people were super excited that this was not a legendary creature, because it just would have been too much, right? It would have been ridiculous as your commander. And also because if it's your commander, people can see it and say, hey, I don't want to play against that. It loses that surprise factor that you have when it's in the 99 and the excitement of, do I draw it? Do I not? So I think it's good that it's not a legendary creature that could be your commander, because we're in a time where we just want everything to be legendary so it could be your commander. But I think Yargle and Moltani at 18 power kind of fits the absurd powered commander. We don't need a 10,000 attack commander in the command zone.